Sonia, would you do a roll call, please?
Yep. Commissioner Wire,
Here.
Commissioner Dippel,
Here.
Commissioner Corbin, Commissioner Shaw,
Here.
Mayor Denner, or sorry, Mayor Lindsay.
Here. Okay. Do we have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. The motion carries. Number one, under old business, authorize the mayor to sign change order number one, Caldwell Tanks Incorporated with, for water system improvements on the water tower. And,
I can give you a quick background.
Very good.
So originally, when this tank was designed and put together, they just had block letters for Madison on it. And at that time, it was decided, let's put something nicer on it. So the Madison logo with the boat was then put onto the tank. Since then, the conversation's evolved a little bit further to say this is a large public facing structure for the city. Everybody that drives past the highway will be able to see it. Why don't we put a little bit more of our community into it? And so this change order would make the Madison logo a little bit bigger and then add on the logo on the backside as well as a Bulldog logo and a DSU Texagonal D logo. The total cost to that is $26,260. At the last meeting, we decided to table it because I had a few more questions to handle with some of the partners in the town. And since then, we've learned that the contractor does have some urgency, wants us to move forward as soon as possible. Okay, okay. So that's why we are meeting with the special meeting today. So thank you all for your flexibility there. As they broke out the cost of this, the DSU D portion would cost about $4,000, and then the Bulldog logo costs around $8,000. Speaking with our partners at the DSU, they were excited about this possibility and are willing to contribute $4,000. That covers the cost of their logo. The school system at Madison Central is also very excited about this, but at this point in time, they're not able to contribute financially to the project. We can share, girls. They're not able to contribute financially to the project, so I called our friends over at the Lake Area Improvement Corporation and the chamber, and both entities were willing to contribute $4,000 a piece to this project to make up for that school's portion. That brings the city's remaining cost to $14,260. Thanks for letting me multitask today, by the way.
And that's also for the city's logos.
Yes, yeah. So the city will be paying the entire cost of it, just like everything else, but we'll be
Right.
having some additional revenues coming in to help offset the cost.
Yep, very good. Questions? Comments? All right,
Thanks for reaching out to those organizations. I think this is a.
Brad,
And the only thing I was.
would you mind stepping up to the table on that?
The only thing I was gonna mention is that,
Thank you.
fully support the idea and fully support the fact that it's on there. The part of the cost is already being paid by the water department. And so we're gonna have that as part of the addendum number one that was on the contract, which bumped up the price a little bit to put the original logo on, is being absorbed as part of the water department, and fully support that. The rest of this, I think, should come from another source other than the water department in this point in time. So that's the only thing I'm here for, is to request that the funding come from some other source.
And
Yeah, thank you, Brad. That was a part I forgot to
that
mention.
was something that has been discussed.
Talking to the commissioners as well as staff, we agree with that. The addition of these logos doesn't in any way improve the efficiency of our water collection or treatment or anything. So we don't believe the water fund should be paying for this either. Sonia believes we can absorb that cost through the general fund.
Thank you.
And thank you. Other questions?
When do they paint it, or is it on the ground or up in the air when they do this, do you know?
My understanding is they do a lot of the painting while the tank's still near the ground, and then they elevate it to the top, and there's some finishing touches being made. As far as what's the majority of the painting, what's the finishing touches, I'm not sure.
Is
They're
that,
looking at starting painting as soon as possible.
is that wall raising?
Yeah,
Soon?
what they do is, yeah, once they'll do all the paint, they gotta prime it, prep it, prime it, paint it, put the logos on. They'll raise the bowl up, and then they gotta put the lid on it. And once they finish the lid and securing it to the tower, then they'll come back and do the touch-up painting on all that stuff that was welded that they, couldn't do obviously on the ground. And so that's what's gonna happen. So then they'll have to, go through and finish the lid, do all the prep work on that, prime it, paint it, and have it, we'll have to inspect it and certify that it's meeting the standards. And then we would accept it and be able to start using it shortly thereafter.
Do we have a life expectancy on this paint or?
The coatings, it kind of depends. You know, I know that we just did the northeast tower, I want to say in 2017. And we're probably, you know, that was on the outside. The inside, we got some work that we got to do on it yet. So we're gonna have to do some touch ups in there. It's repeated. I don't know the exact interval. This is gonna be a little different because obviously it's just a pedestal, doesn't get anything. Whereas sometimes on the other ones where you've got a spheroid or something else, something else causes you to have to paint it rather than the bowl. The bowl section typically lasts a little longer because it's got the cold water in it. So the heat doesn't affect it as much. So I don't know what the exact answer is gonna be, but it's gonna, I would assume we're getting somewhere around 15 years on a bowl.
Other questions, comments? Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the change order with additional entities supplementing some of the costs in the city handling $14,260 out of the general fund.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Do we have any public comment? Okay. Seeing none, announcements, the next commission meeting will be May 16th, 2022. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay. Thank you, everyone. We are adjourned.